Namaste everyone, welcome to Thinking Bridges YouTube channel and आज की video is dedicated to how to make a career in FDD and for that we have our expert for today, CA Jheel Jethwani. She is of course a chartered accountant and she's been working in the FDD department for the last 2 years. She has quite a rich work experience history. She started off her articleship with EY, and then she moved on to do her industrial training with DE Shaw. And for the last 2 years, like I mentioned, she has been working with PwC in the FDD department, that is financial due diligence. And this conversation is entirely going to be about how to make a career in financial due diligence. So, welcome to the show, Jheel. How are you doing today?
I'm going to good, Pooja. Thank you. Thank you so much for the great introduction.
All right. So, हम सबसे पहले, let's start off with the very basics. A lot of people here do not understand what FDD is all about, and they feel like FDD is something that only, like cream of the cream, creme de la creme वाले लोग ही कर सकते हैं. But of course, that is not true. So, I would like you to first introduce कि FDD होता क्या है, हमारी audience को बताइए, and then we'll move on to the other question.
Yeah, I'll take it forward too. So basically, financial due diligence in a very layman basis for the larger audience, it's a process of understanding and analyzing financial health of the business by understanding each financial statement captions of the financial statements, and then also to understand what are the key red flags that the investor could face while transacting in a deal. So it is a part of the entire M&A process, and wherein we would understand what all the investor would want to know from the financial aspect of the business, and what are the key deal flags that the investor should know before coming and investing into the business. It's just like as if you are investing in a flat and you want to know what all are my key indicators that the flat should have. I mean, what kind of portions should my flat look like, or what is a deal breaker if this is the cause and I can't take a deal, if this litigation comes into I can't take this flat, or if this flat does not have a garden I can't take this. So it's just understanding the limitation aspect from an investor's viewpoint for taking that entire deal, or maybe a futuristic aspect from an investor's point of what are the benefits of he or she can have it from executing this entire deal.
Right. So we can say that it's an extension or a like really important part of the entire mergers and acquisition field, like very important segment of it. Right.
Yes.
And financial due diligence is done by the buyer. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, that someone who is interested in a business, let's say XYZ business, now they want to first test all, whether their financial statements are looking fine or not, and whether their processes, any legal compliances that they've been missing out, something like that, right?
It's done from both the ends. It's done from the
Yeah.
buyer's end as well, and it's done from the seller end as well. I mean, who wants to get it done? I mean, if the buyer wants to buy, they can also appoint and get an FDD done. If a seller wants to sell, they can also appoint and get the FDD done.
But legal compliance, who is legally obligated to do this, or this is
Both parties should get it done individually
ah
for them.
okay. So this tells me now this field has a lot of scope in the future.
Yes, exactly. Because everybody wants to have the best bet for them.
Right, right. Okay. So you have done your articleship in auditing and you've done it from one of the big fours. But FDD is a very, niche field, and we hear that a lot of this field doesn't offer a lot of opportunities. इसमें vacancies कम होती हैं. So can you clear that myth? Number one, that there is no articleship in FDD, number one. And number two, that this is a very niche field and only a handful of CAs get hired in this role.
Sure. I'll take both of them. That yes, there is no articleship done in FDD because you eventually require some level of expertise of understanding the financials before you come into the entire process of FDD, and hence and hence people are preferred who have articleship experience in audit in per se, because they know how are these financial statements captioned for, and how do we read those sub schedules and schedules in general information.
Hmm.
And asking to the be part of the question, as in it's a very creamy field and only a handful of the people come in, it's not entirely correct, but yes, it is somewhat correct. Why? Because they would want people who have great level of analytical mindset which has been developed during the entire articleship phase, and hence it is said that the better articleship you have, the better revenues and opportunities you can always come forward to. Or even if you do not have it from an articleship point of view, you can always have it from an understanding or learning key mindset point of view. Because while in an interview, of course your articleship is being tested, of course it is being sorted for too.
Hmm.
But even over and above your articleship, if you have some understanding, you have done that homework, you have done that ground and research work of the process of how it is being done, it always acts as a leverage to people who have great articleship but do not have an adequate information on it.
Hmm. Right. So, you know, salary is something that everybody is really, really excited about. So of course, I don't want you to give me the, exact number. Just a range would be fine. And could you like break it down with career level? Let's say, freshers and intermediate or like mid career level and then senior. Like, what is the growth potential for them? Because of course, if I'm starting my career today, I would want to know that 10 years, 15 years, or 20 years down the line, how much is the potential that this field holds for me? Like, since you're from the industry, I think you're the best person to ask this question.
Definitely. I think many of us always know the campus placement numbers for audit per se. So any given day, whatever would you get in from an audit perspective, plus side of 2 to 3 lakhs per annum would be what an FDD person would get it. So let's say if an entry level role at audit would start at 8 to 9, an entry level role at FDD would start somewhere 10 to 11 and 11 to 12 basis the company that you're in and basis the location that you're always joining. And then the future projection always depend on which level you are
Hmm.
and how is the business working at that point of time, and
Hmm.
how many deals are you doing as well, and your ratings as well. But it has a great upside. I mean, I think any field, if you do it on a very thorough holistic basis, I mean, there is always an upside to it, and there are always numbers that you can get more and more, of course.
Right. Awesome. Um, So let's say if I want to get into FDD and I am a fresher chartered accountant, my articleship was from a mid-sized firm, right? So two parts to this question. Number one, can a person who's coming from a mid-sized articleship, can he make a career? Can he get into FDD? Number one. And second part to the question is like, is auditing the baseline work experience requirement that is needed to get into FDD, or people from other fields also can try and make career in FDD?
Understood. Let's take both of them. A, if you have a mid-size articleship, can you come into an FDD? Of course, by all hands, by all big arms, you can always come to FDD. There is no requirement of articleship from so and so firm or from so and so level. Of course, there are preferences because of by nature of expertise. But if you are somebody who has even done a small size or a mid-size articleship, but are great in knowing the works, are great in scaling the entire analysis, you know through and throughout of what are you getting into and how are you going to analyze things, your thought process, your understandings are so much clear, then nobody would just limit you basis the exposure you have previously, because there's always a time that you can have one opportunity to open up that exposure, right? So it's never a limiting factor from the perspective of firm of your articleship. B, whether only audit people are preferred, or do we have chances of others? I say people from audit are generally preferred because they have already built that muscle memory. But again, as we said, even if you are from tax, but you want to pivot and you have that understanding of at least how do I read the financial statements, or let's say if I want to understand example related party transaction, what kind of lens should I have, or how do I analyze those, or how do I plot some schedules? If
Hmm.
you know that, I think the avenues are always open. But with the rigid mindset, if you say that only I have learned only this much, and now basis this learning you take me in, I think that would be a little difficult. So if you are okay enough to learn, unlearn new things, there are always avenues open.
Hmm. Okay. This makes me think about another question, and that is, can people from non-CA background also enter into FDD? Because a lot of our viewers, a lot of our audience, they come from different professional courses. Courses like CES, ACCA, CMA is also there, CFA is also there. But I think FDD. I mean, I have mostly seen people who come from CA background in the FDD field, but I am not an insider. So you tell us, like, what are your teammates like? Do they come from MBA background also? Do they hail from like CS or CMA profession also?
Yes, yes. So I think the cohort is preliminarily safe, but yes, we have people from other domains as well. I mean, I see a lot of people from MBA coming into FDD because it's not something like audit. I think at an audit level, you have a signing authority. You need an ICI registered person to do it. It's not something like in FDD, right? You
Hmm.
are not giving a standard based report. It's your work. It's the way you want to do it, and hence, it's not necessary that you are educated from a specific field. And for even bachelor's level, we have a lot of opportunities. I mean, people start at an analyst level with various bachelor degrees, let's say bachelor's in economics, bachelor's in finance, and so on, and they move up the channel with that degrees as well. So I think it's an open avenue options. Yes, the cohort is mostly chartered accountants because of the leverage they have it from their experience, but it's
Right.
always open to a lot of profession as well. We also have certain ACCAs and CPAs who work in this profession as well, because again the base level understanding is same, and it's how you expertise those understanding.
Hmm. Got it. Got it. Okay. So, guys, here's a little, secret or some information for you that Jheel ma'am is creating FDD masterclass with us, and it will be out soon, right? Uh, so why I'm giving you this contest is because we've been trying to get in touch, but Jheel ma'am is so busy that we've to coordinate a lot so that but she's really hardworking. Why I'm asking, why I'm giving you all this contest is because I want to understand from you, Jheel, how is the work pressure in this field? Is it for someone who is like, like really thrives on challenges and thrives on when the pressure is there, or can someone who's like with a very chill mindset can also thrive in this field? So give us the background for that.
Definitely somebody who loves working, and I think to excel in any field, even if it's not FDD, it's in any field, you have to put in those number of hours to be better. I mean, it's always said to become a master in something, you have to bring that expertise into picture and put in those number of hours. So I think anybody who wants to pivot into this field has to do that level of hard work, at least best level up till your pure pace. It should not be comparable. Let's say somebody is working, let's say 16 hours, I work on the same way, but at least your fruitful 10 hours to the extent that you can give is always required. I think no chiller attitudes here, unless it is like a time wherein you are eventually getting it by the firm, like breaks or something like that. But
Hmm.
then with all positive mindset, full work mode is required.
Right. So no work-life balance initially, at least like initial years of the career.
I mean, so work-life balance is always means either you. So there are days you balance work, and there are days you want to balance life. I think you take it in your own stride, but yeah, it's a good way of balancing it. I mean, you have to be on your toes to balance both, and it's always that. I mean, there would be days wherein you would focus on work more because you want to get an output which is better to others, and then there would be days which would be eventually coming in wherein you can also have a good life in a way. So it's not something like no work life, but yeah, a difficult work life.
Fair enough. I think that this one people can manage.
Manage. Yes, yes, it's
This
manageable.
much is manageable. Okay. So let's say that I am a fresher CA. I come from let's say I've had a mixed sort of experience in my articleship, and now I want to get into FDD. That I've decided, and I'm really really keen on pursuing my career in this field because this excites me. You have given me context of what I will be doing, but what kind of skills do you think would be expected of me when I enter or when I am appearing for the interview? What kind of technical skills or soft skills should I be focusing upon to develop so that I can ace that interview that I have lined up?
Sure, definitely. Any start of the interview is always judged by your communication skills. So I think that is the most important soft skill that you should have, because that is how you start presenting yourself. Even before a person starts judging your technical knowledge, he or she first judges your communication understanding and communication way. Because a person would always analyze that if this person comes to my company, he's face of face of the company for the client, right? So you have to be great with your soft skills, being communication, being confidence, being how do you present, a bit level of presentation skill as well. Then coming on to the technical aspect, you should be great with your level of Excel understanding at whatever level you are coming across. So let's say if you are an articleship person who has done 3 years of work with Excel, whatever you should be knowing within these 3 years should be known. I mean, basic pivot tables, basic formulas, basic understandings of Excel functionalities should be known to you. I mean, that should be thorough with you, because you will always be asked to do Excel case studies before interviews as well. So that is a very important aspect. And then second, technical knowledge level understanding whatever is expected from a CA final course curriculum perspective. I mean, whatever was there as a part of your FR, your SFM curriculum, those base understanding you should have, along with your articleship knowledge. So let's say if you have done your articleship from tax and you are pivoting it into here, they would also want to understand what level of understanding or skills you gained during the process. What kind of clients did you work, and what did you understand from the entire work that you did. So from a technical aspect, of course, a certain portion of your curriculum depends on it. And then second, whatever you have worked for too, with
Hmm.
a good Excel hands on.
Right. So Excel is must, having a good understanding of the work you've already done so that you can present it in a nice way. Number two, that is there. And on number three, I mean, would you say that having a deeper understanding of the financial statements, the different aspects of financial statements is something
Yes.
that, okay.
That is a leverage, of course, but as we said, the forum is open for a lot of people. So even if you do not have, you have some other level of expertise, you should be very clear of what are you coming with.
What are you bringing to the table? What value addition will you bring when you'll join the team? Cool.
Yes.
Are there any resource or reading material from ICI or from any of the big four that I can read up so as to, brush up? Because, exam, between articleship and the exam cycle, there can be some free time. So, for that, like, can you share some resources that a person can go through?
Yeah, definitely. We can link it out to this video. So, from a theoretical aspect, yes, you have different guidelines published by various authors and various institutes for financial due diligence processes, of course. But then, from a practical insight, I think I would say please come and have our masterclass into picture, because I say it's restricted here.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we have covered all the practical aspects of how an FDD is conducted. So we've entirely covered end to end from like start to end. We've covered that, and Jeel ma'am has phenomenally delivered all the lectures with, she's used all her experience and knowledge and put that into the lectures. So yes, definitely check that out for sure. Okay,
Yeah.
right. So, any piece of advice that you would like to give someone who is, trying to sort of analyze whether I should be getting into this or not?
Definitely. I think this is a great phase to be in. I mean, after your CA final examination and before you really jump on into a job, I feel everybody should do two things. A, have a great vacation because you've studied a lot. And B, taking good decisions and very wise decisions by knowing all the possible options. And how would you do it? You would evaluate each and everything possible in this earth. I mean, from a aspect of knowing each field to understanding the day in, day out responsibility that the person has to perform, you should analyze everything, including whatever materials you are able to get it of their work, right? So it's not only FDD. I think you should reach out to all the people from all the fields, from tax, from audit, from business consulting to internal audit, everyone, each one of them, to understand what do they work, and just find out if that mix is for you, if that level of understanding or if that level of work is for you. And it's not always that people are made for FDD. There are people who do great in tax. There are people who are great in doing forensic audit. And there are also people who are great in analyzing and doing financial due diligence. You should find your own right mix and then approach it. And to know that, you should, of course, evaluate all the options and reach out to all correct people available.
Hmm. Right. So, any quick pointers for interview? Because what kind of questions do they ask in interview? Is there any specific skill set that they test in the interview? Is it knowledge from the financial statements, or is it Excel knowledge? So what exactly do they test during the interview?
Yeah. So, from an interview perspective, of course, having your own technical skill set. I mean, basis your CFCA final bit of curriculum. B, having a bit of an understanding of why FDD you want to be in FDD and
Right.
what all aspects are covered in FDD. Your why also should be clear to the interview, as in why you want to pivot. Then, on a third instance, you can always see that there are Excel case studies as a part of the interview process, and if that is the case, then your Excel knowledge also is important. And fourth, very important, any level of market information that you have on current deals, on current structures, any viewpoint that you have analyzed, that also always acts as a like a star points, because people don't know much of market valuation things, market techniques, or some market news that you feel are very relevant for the recent deals that they have happened. So any that kind of information is always a leverage out.
Right. Any specific deals of one or two that you would like to say, share it with the audience that do read them, that they will give you an edge over others? Any sort of
Yeah,
that is
you could.
probably. Hmm.
You can see any market report of Lenskart IPO which was there in the near future, and any your favorite companies process which is being taken for. I mean, the potential stake sale or a potential merger that is going to happen. All potential informations you should always be aware of. You can always read the marquee Haldiram deal, or the recent I think Belgium waffle deal that happened. So I think that happens. I mean, you can always have the information from all sorts.
And what is your source of information, ma'am? Any specific newspaper that you read where you find these information about deals?
Read in shorts, read Economics Time, and read Google News as well.
Okay. Like, जहाँ से भी possible है, just gather information.
Yes, yes.
Nice. Now I have the most important question, and I think people have been waiting for this question, and that is, can you give reference, ma'am, to us? How do we connect with you?
Sure, sure. If I know many of the opportunities here and all, you can always reach me on LinkedIn. And I think there are n number of people and n number of posts on LinkedIn available as well. You can always reach out to the relevant HRs or relevant people in the department that you wish to join in, and they would always be happy to refer you basis the candidature you share. So for sure, please come in.
Right.
More than happy to help.
Absolutely. As you can know from the conversation, as you can see from the conversation itself, that Jheel ma'am is so, chirpy and such a helpful personality. So definitely we'll link her LinkedIn in the description of this video. And we'll also try to get her as our mentor on Gurukul, wherein you can book sessions with her and have a one-on-one conversation. So do write in the comment if you want Jheel ma'am to join as a mentor. Right. Okay,
Definitely.
so that's about it. Jeel, thank you so much. And if at all you have, if I missed out any question, if or is there any piece of information that you would like to share, please feel free to do so.
No. I think we have covered all the aspects very thoroughly, and it was great talking with you, Pooja, and to all, and for all the audience, it was great even communicating on a virtual backup session with you as well. I'm very excited, and I hope I see majority of you in our masterclass, wherein I would want to interact more with real life case studies, and I would want to hear the feedback on the session as well. So waiting for you guys.
Awesome. Wonderful. Thank you so much, guys. If you like this video, do drop nice comments for Jeel so that, she records more such videos with us from her busy schedule. And yes, reach out to her on LinkedIn for any guidance if you want. And of course, we will be launching the masterclass soon. So check that out as well. And subscribe to Thinking Rich channel so that you guys don't miss out on these amazing videos that we keep making. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Thank you. Yeah.